We're going to talk about how to find and source talent, some of the pros and cons of each. So first I want to talk about the difference between what I call specialized talent, individuals that can do one-off projects, whether it's a brochure, website, video editing, or integrated virtual staff or virtual assistant. Integrated virtual staff is kind of a phrase we use because it's higher level things that these people are able to do when they integrate into your business. And so as I mentioned myself when I first started, I had all these gig economy individuals that were doing different types of projects and so forth, but I needed someone to kind of work side by side, be kind of more of a virtual staff plugging into the business side by side to take on operational, marketing, administrative types of tasks. And people told me about the Philippines. And the Philippines is different than a lot of other countries in Southeast Asia because the US controlled it up until like 1947, Americanized culture, English is their second language, but it's still an economy where, minimum wage is still just over $1, US. So you can get really great talent with 4-year college degrees and pay them well, and it's still a substantial savings. I found my very first, VA through that path. And one thing I learned from that lesson is I almost didn't hire because she didn't have experience in the technology we were using, the CRM system that we were using. And she didn't have a lot of years as experience as a VA. I almost didn't hire her, but the one I was working with said, I think you should. She's going to be a good fit, I think. And what I learned is her ability to raise her lid and to expand her knowledge and got Lean Six Sigma certified, project management certified. Still to this day, even in our business, we focus on people that are fast learners, good communicators, and can take feedback. Not they say I have tons of experience necessarily, because a lot of things in our businesses, they're not rocket science. You just need somebody that can learn quickly and adapt and integrate and learn processes and systems. So the difference between specialized tactical talent that you can do one-off types of projects, and then virtual assistant or integrated virtual staff into your company that works side by side and feel more like an employee. As far as finding talent, the first one we're going to talk about are these gig economy platforms, and there are hundreds of them that are out there, but two of the big ones, and some you may have heard of, are Fiverr and Upwork. They have millions of people on these platforms that you can go check out both of those. You can dive in. Each of them have learning in universities, but they're great for especially specialized talent. Individuals that can do one-off types of projects, whether it's brochures or video editing or LinkedIn or short-time research. They're really good for short-term type of projects or even short-term virtual assistant type of work as well that you may be looking for. So gig economy platforms. Next, if you're looking to find a virtual staff to kind of plug into your business, there's online job boards, right? There's one called Onlinejobs.ph. It's a job platform in the Philippines that has individuals just like you would post for a job in the US, right? Like Indeed.com or some of those type of platforms. Those are ones where you're going to post the job and people are going to submit all their resumes, right? And you can find amazing virtual assistants for $4 to $5 an hour. It kind of ranges all over. That's kind of a general range. The tip on that is be very specific about what you're looking for. I encourage you to shoot a video of yourself, what you're looking for, what your company's about, and ask them to shoot a video as well so you can filter out people that are just submitting resumes versus they're really passionate about your business. The other path you can go down in finding virtual assistants is going with staffing, companies that help source and find individuals, and there's a couple of options there. There's ones that actually provide, physical locations and equipment, and they'll help with the recruiting and hiring process, but then you're in charge of managing and overseeing, that individual. And those range anywhere from $8 to $9, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on what you're looking for. And then there's those that also provide the full management. They provide all the resources, technology, and equipment, and sourcing, but then the management of those individuals as well. That's the niche we chose to kind of go down and explore to focus on with Outsource Access. So it's a full range, and there's pros and cons of each. Some are less expensive, some are more expensive, some offer more features and functions depending on what path you're wanting to engage. But the thing to look for is how well do they do discovery and figure out what your needs are. You want to work with individuals that are going to dive in, understand your needs, or you work with a staffing company. What is their discovery process to figure out your needs and requirements? And then how do they go about vetting these individuals? What assessments do they use? And I'm going to provide to you as well kind of a list of all the different assessment evaluations that we provide in our business. IQ testing, emotional intelligence testing, project management assessment, all the different assessments that you can put people through to see if they're going to be a good fit in the organization. And the last thing I'll share is, do they have anything accessible to you beyond the VA and their talent in the organization? What's the depth of their talent pool, kind of, if you will? You got a VA, but anything outside their skill set, do they have resources that you can tap and lean into? So that's the kind of the full range from gig economy platforms to online job boards to fully managed staff organizations. It's a full range. You can vet and evaluate depending on what you're looking for in terms of price point and support. There's something that can be a fit for you. So next we're going to dive into some specific case studies. Now we've talked about the difference between specialized talent versus virtual staff to plug in and how you can go about finding them.